record. Good evening, everyone. I'm officially initiating the CAPM preparation class, which is Project Management Fundamentals. I told you last week, previous class, that the exercise that I'm doing at the beginning of the class, it has a relationship between the pictures and the content of the class. So remember, this is not a deep psychological analysis. It's just something that I learned based on my experience. So pay attention. Pay attention to this. I love this. If you select pictures number 1, number 4, number 10, 16, let me just go back. Go back. People. Let me just go back. People. Number 1, 4, 10, and 16. 1, 4, 10, and 16. Miss Claudia and also Miss Lucette. Let me just. So 1, 4, 10, 16, you are going to enjoy. You're going to love leadership, communications management, stakeholders engagement, team development. So those will be your favorite content and topics and definitions and processes and tools and techniques. If you select landscaping like nature, like 3, 5, 8, 11, 12, and just go back, 3, 5, 8, 11, 12, 3, Miss Larissa, 5, 8, 11, 12, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 17, let me check, 13, 17, no, I think we don't have those, nobody selected those pictures. But I know that Mr.
There's
Joe.
someone selected 14.
14, yes, yeah, 14, let me go back. Yes, 14, yes. So you are going to enjoy and have fun just learning about processes, like very organized processes, frameworks, best practices, and quality standards. I know you're gonna love those type of conversations as part of the class. So that's it. Let me just go back and check who selected animals. 2679. Let me go back. 2679. Boom. 2, 6. I'm having issues. 6, 7, and 9. So I think Miss Julie and Miss Pamela. So your favorite conversations will be based on agility. What has Ala said? Coming up, agility, it's part of today's class. Value delivery systems, risk management, and innovation. So let me know if you agree. Some of my students say, yes, absolutely, yes, I love risk management, I love innovation. So remember, this is not a deep analysis. It's just to have fun at the beginning of the class. And any comments in the chat? Do you agree? Now let's say it was, oh, George, I totally agree. What about you guys? Great icebreaker. You guys are the best. Any comments, Miss Larissa? Miss Claudia. Oh, Miss Claudia. You agree, Miss Claudia, that those pictures reflect your favorite topic? Yes?
Of course, yes.
That was just an icebreaker, not too deep, but that is part of the fresh conversation, just to break the ice. Okay, I want you to drink water, feel comfortable, because we're going to provide an overview of framework management, and that is the topic that we covered last week. So remember, the first thing that I told you the previous class, is that in agility, we have 3 pillars. So the 3 pillars in agility is coming today. So we're going to know what is agile. Today, I'm going to explain what is that definition. So the first pillar of the agile mindset and agile philosophy is, anyone? TR?
Transparency, inspection, and adaptation.
Wow, yes, it's transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Maybe today, I don't know what is that about. I'm going to explain these 3 pillars into the next 4 weeks that we'll be teaching this class. So it's a process. It's a learning process. Just for today, The reason why I want to share the progress of the class is because in agility, we need to be transparent. So if I'm sharing with you the content of the class, there's no secrets. So at any time, you can tell me, hey, Lisa, I think we are behind schedule. I say, yes, I'm sorry. So let me adapt. So transparency is very valuable because you need the people around you can help you to be better. So pillar number one, I'm transparent. I'm going to put the progress of my work in a visible place. That is agility project management. So having said that, today we are going to cover the day number 2, which is integration management. However, last week, we were talking about the environment, the framework of project management, and also what is my role as a project manager. And I remember that I told you that project definition for the exam, it's a list of activities that you need to adopt in order to create something unique. It could be a product, a service, or improve any existing process. So what is the tricky part of the project definition is that, number one, it's temporary. So I know you took notes last week. It's temporary. Listen, why is this important? Because you are going to take the exam. So the CAPM exam is going to test these 3 concepts for the project definition. So number one, a project, it's a temporary endeavor, meaning that has a start and an end. So it's not an ongoing operational work. So having said that, the project is supposed to create something unique. If the product or service that you're creating, it's already done, it's not a project. It's part of the operational work of the organization. So that is a tricky concept also. The result of a project must be unique in order to be a project. And number 3, the third concept in terms of project definition is that a project, it's progressively elaborated. So it's progressive. Let's say why these 3 things are important, because progressively, for example, you have no excuses. You have no excuse. If you are starting a new job and your manager is going to ask you, hey, Miss Julie, could you please bring me or create a project plan for this week? I'm going to give you 7 days to create a project plan. You're not supposed to say, oh my gosh, I don't have any idea. I have no idea about this type of business, please. I don't have all the information. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So the answer is yes. You can deliver the first version of the plan just containing the information that you have available in these 7 days. So you can document, okay, this is the version number 1 of my plan. That's it. Why? Because you're expecting to learn more about the project progressively. So that's it's a beautiful characteristic of a project definition. So another definition that I provided the previous class is that a project has 3 characteristics as a definition. Another concept that I share with you is that project management. Let me just clean because I'm going to continue right now. The other concept that I want to mention today is that it's not the same a project versus operations. That was another concept. So operational work, it's ongoing to sustain the business. And project, it's temporary. So that's why you cannot manage a project using business management. Business management, it's absolutely different. Why? Because in project management, please pay attention because this is very important for the exam. It's project management. In project management, we have 5 processes. Please pay attention. 5 processes. Number 1, I mentioned like 10 times last week.
Initiating.
Yes, number two. Number two.
Planning,
Yes, number three.
executing,
Yes, number four.
Control.
Yeah, wow, you're doing great job. And number five,
closing.
closing. So project management, it's about initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. That is project management. However, operations is just planning, executing, and controlling, only three processes. So that's why you need project management in order to implement the project on time, on quality, on budget. And this is the golden triangle. The golden triangle is time, budget, and scope. So today I want to connect the two topics here and integration, providing this beautiful classification that I'm going to explain right now. This is part of this topic. I'm not introducing integration yet. I'll let you know. So there are two types of projects. I want you to pay attention, write it down, ask me questions, stop me at any time. And Miss Larissa, just let me know if the speed of my conversation, it's okay. I'm doing this rhythm, el ritmo de conversation, it's that okay? Or do you think?
I think the rhythm is perfect.
Oh, okay, just let me know because sometimes I'm very emotional with my topics and boom, 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 boom. Okay, let me relax. All right, predictive and adaptive. What does that list say? Thank you for asking. The projects based on the type of life cycle, which is the steps or phases, the project can be a predictive project or it could be an adaptive. So what is the difference? Predictive project, it's the traditional. I want you to understand the concept and then you can write it down. But for now, let me just explain that predictive approach is a traditional mindset, traditional traditional predictive is the same. It's the same predictive. What does that say? So when you are managing a predictive or traditional project, you know exactly what to do since the very beginning. So you know the scope. Building a house, you know that the house, the blueprint, you're gonna have two bedrooms, a kitchen, backyard. You're gonna create a garage because you know at the very beginning, everything is clear. So you have the scope and you know that the construction duration of the project will be 4 months. So you have the calendar in advance. And also you have the budget. It's very clear. So the triangle, it's very clear at the beginning of the project. Please pay attention because I'm going to give you a lot of information right now. So you will see the difference between predictive and adaptive. So in predictive projects, there is something that is not good. That is my personal opinion. Is that if you want to change something in this type of projects, you need to submit a change request. So the changes are carefully managed. Predictive and traditional is the same, and another name for this type of projects is waterfall. So predictive life cycles may also be referred to as waterfall and also as a plan-driven. So let's say how many names for one concept? Yes. Remember that I told you that PMI, the professional organization that created this type of certifications, they love to provide a lot of different names for the same idea. I'm sorry, don't ask me why, it is what it is. So let me just make sure we are clear about that. Let me just go back one more time. Predictive, another name of predictive equals waterfall. Keep that in mind for the exam. Another name, it's traditional. I'm putting in my notes on the top. And another name for the same concept, it's plan-driven. plan-driven. These names are the same idea. However, adaptive, it's absolutely the opposite. Adaptive projects are agile. So another name for adaptive, it's agile. What does that say? I'm going to explain right now. The thing is that in agility, the only thing that you have clear at the beginning of the project is just an idea. Because in agility, you have just an idea. You don't know exactly what to do. I love agility because it's very realistic. So adaptive life cycles are agile, iterative. What does that say? Iterativa, iterative, or incremental. Because in agility, you are going to organize the project into sprints. What does that say? The sprint, it's a short amount of time to deliver value. So the beautiful part of agility is that you, at the end of the sprint, you will be able to review one more time the scope, the budget, the time, every single characteristic of the project. You will be able to just to create and inspect and adapt. You are going to deliver just a piece of the product here, sprint number 1. Another good news is that the sprint, it has a very short duration from 1 to 4 weeks. That is the duration of iteration. When you see the word sprint, it's the same as iteration, iteration. Iteration, those are cycles to deliver value here, like the sprint number 1, sprint number 2, sprint number 3, sprint number 4. Iteration equals sprints. Okay, what is the good news about Agile also? I love agility. Is because you can define the new characteristic of the product at the end of the sprint. So the detailed scope is defined and approved before the start of an iteration. So you're going to have the opportunity to review the plan one more time. At the end of the sprint, okay, let me just review one more time the features and functions and characteristics of my beautiful product. So you will be able to reorganize, prioritize, and just deliver value based on customer feedback. So the adaptive life cycles are also referred as to agile or change-driven. Okay, one more time. Agile equals adaptive, change-driven is the same. And the picture of agility is like this. Waterfall is that you have only one opportunity to deliver value. After that, you deliver the final product. Any question, any comment, anyone? Let me check. Miss
It looks like
Pamela.
we have comments in the chat.
Okay, we have, I think, Miss Pamela. I like adaptive, me too. Yes, word itself sounds like it gives room for changes, absolutely. For growth, to adapt and modify accordingly to where you are at that moment. Absolutely. You can inspect and adapt. Remember the 3 pillars of agility: the transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So at the end of the sprint, you will be able to inspect the product, the increment, and adapt and improve and be better. Okay, we have another opportunity to improve this product. I love agility. So that's why I have a couple of classes. It's also talking about agility, another class, not this one. In this one, the PMI is giving the 2 approaches, predictive and adaptive. So we need to know both for this class. All right. Miss Larissa, can I continue? You let me know.
Yes, we can continue.
Okay. You give me permission. Thank you so much. Okay, if you see this chart, it's explaining the predictive approaches when you have just one time to gathering requirements, one time design, one time build, one time testing, one time deployment, and you close. However, agility, oh my gosh, I love it because you are going to to create, to design, build, and test and deploy. Boom. And here you have the MVP. What is that? The minimum viable product, which is the version number 1 of my product. So at the end of the sprint, one more time, we are going to prioritize the requirements, organize this list, and one more time, create an incremental value. And just, you don't need to wait until December, 12 months. You can do that every month from 1 to 4 weeks. That is agile approaches. Let's say, what happens if I need to use both? Yes, that is possible. So I don't want to confuse you, but you can use hybrid approaches. I don't want to confuse you, but yes, you can use in some components. Okay, let's say for this deliverable number 1 and number 2, I'm going to use predictive. For deliverable number 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to adopt an agility mindset. That is perfectly fine. So you can combine different approaches, depends on what works best for each part of the project. Hybrid, traditional, and hybrid. All right, just continue because that is the same idea that I was explaining right now. And this is a chart. I love visual representation because one picture, it's more explanatory than a lot of talking. So this is an example of a waterfall predictive project. You gathering requirements, creating and organizing the components, designing the boat. And hey, after 1 year, yes, this is the boat, this is the final work. What happened if your customer said, no, I don't want this type of boat. I was thinking about this type of boat. So you don't have time to improve inspection and adaptation because you didn't have any interactions here with your customers. However, in agility, and one of the most popular frameworks of Agile is Scrum, and we're going to speak about a Scrum coming up, of course. Scrum, I know, let's say too many words. Yes, I know. So in a Scrum, you have this type of cycles. I love it. Sprint number 1, sprint number 2. Pay attention, I love this chart. Sprint number 3, sprint number 4, and sprint number 5. It's just like transitioning. It's just creating from less to more, like constantly incrementing the value, and I love it. So in this case, you can use this type of boat. I know it's not the final design, but you can start providing transportation services, and maybe you can charge 25 cents just to cross the river. So you can just get money at the very beginning. In agility and innovation, the name of this behavior is eating the dessert first. So making money as soon as possible. So we're doing this. This is sprint number 1. Okay, at the end of the sprint, you have a meeting with the customers, the investors, developers. Everybody's having a meeting right now, sprint planning. And then, okay, I'm going to add value incrementally. Now I'm going to put this piece. So I don't need this tool to move my boat. So now I can use La Vela. George Lenderberg, Mr. George, help me out with the traduction.
You know, I'm not a big boat person, so I know
Okay.
what you mean because I speak Spanish, but I don't know the word in English.
La vela.
either.
In Spanish, this is the vela. It's like it's like a fabric, and it has well, the wind will be able to move the boat. So now you don't need the remo, Spanish, another word in Spanish, but now you're incrementing value and improving the structure and the architecture of the boat. My bad, guys. Okay. All right. So that is the idea. And maybe Miss Larissa, Miss Julie, can you help me translating? That was the word that I was looking for. Translating vela or remo to English. I don't remember the words, but you see the picture here. Is when you
I think it's called a sail.
sail. Yes.
Like I thought I knew, and I just Googled it, but this like a sailboat. It's literally called sail. I just Googled it.
All right. All right. So this is the idea that we are improving and incrementing value, like at the end of each sprint. So at the end of the the project, I will have this beautiful boat. Because we had this conversation 1, 2, 3, 4 times conversations with the customers, the team, the investors, and the rest of the stakeholders. So that is a high level, the difference between predictive and adaptive. Predictive is waterfall and adaptive is agile. And the framework most popular is the Scrum. So that is the difference between predictive and adaptive. Miss Larissa, please stop me if you see any question. I'm going to continue. If you
Yes, I think Julie has her hand up.
okay. Oh, Julie, let me see.
Hi. I was just gonna say that I thought that the diagram, I really like it too. I can see how agile, like the idea of starting off with a mechanical function, like the first one, he's basically using his body to move. And then the second one, it's still mechanical because, you know, you have to build the cloth, the flag. And then eventually, like through, I guess, let me see if I can use some of the terms he used. Adapting, you know, I guess eventually you figure out how to like build something that's more automatic. So I like the diagram. That's
Yep.
it.
So the chart, it's clear, the idea, because sometimes it's too many charts, too many votes, but this is the idea. Do you think that is a clear idea when you see the picture, Miss Julie? So it's a good explanation when I'm sharing with you this picture. It's just to let me know so I can continue using this chart in my classes. Yes? Oh, I don't.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let me continue. All right. So remember that last week, let me know what time, let me check what time is it. We have an icebreaker after this, we finished the framework, is that I told you that we have a challenge in project management. Why? Because we need to understand the environment, right? The enterprise environmental factors and the organizational process assets. What has Dallas said is that in project management, it's not only your project. We have a lot of like organizational work going on at the same time. So you have different departments. You have existing systems that you need to know in order to use and leverage the same tools that the company is using. Remember that project management in a very large company is not only you, it's a lot of elements around you. So we need to understand the knowledge base, the standards of the company, the policies, the processes, the procedures, the culture, the historical information. So this type of terminologies, it's good to know for the exam. What is EEF? It's Enterprise Environmental Factors. What is OPA? It's on organizational process assets or templates or processes, and also the organizational culture or systems. So having said that, this is the definition. Please pay attention for the exam because I know you are going to see a couple of inputs and outputs using this type of names. So when you see EEF and OPA, it's very popular on the PM book, which is the Bible that I gave you. It's in our classroom. Is that those two EEFs and OPAs, they can influence the approach of your project. The EEF, which is Enterprise Environmental Factors, originate from outside of the project and sometimes outside. It could be from the government, a lot of rules, like protocols, like cybersecurity rules that you need to follow. So those type of environments are going to affect the implementation of the project. Why is this important? Because you need to keep that in mind. We have a lot of challenges in project management. So OPAs sometimes are templates or resources that you don't need to create from scratch because the company already did it. So let's say you don't need to create the purchase order format. We have this template that you can use. It's a cool, it's a good thing. So I'm going to put a happy face here because OPA sometimes those are resources that you can use. That is a good thing. However, sometimes you need to understand the organizational structures of your company. Because based on that type of culture, you are going to have power or no power at all to make decisions. So for the exam, we need to know a couple of organizational structures for the exam. Number one, what is the functional organization? What is a matrix organization? And what is a projectized organization? And I want to explain one by one today, just using charts and definitions. So we had no time previous class to explain in detail, but now I'm going to take the time to explain one by one. Why? Because I want you to take notes and ask me questions about that and why Lisette is that important. Okay. I'm going to explain functional. What is that, Lisette? Function organization. And I remember that George asked me, give me an example. So thank you for asking. So the organization number one is the functional. Please look at me, pay attention, write it down, and stop me if you have any question. And functional organizations, in that type of companies, we have a clear division of business units. What is that, Lisette? That is the 100% of the organization. So the example that I put last week was Cisco, which is a traditional organization. So at Cisco, we have a finance department. We have a human resource department. We have a research and development department, operations department, product marketing department. We have legal. That's normal. So what is the problem in that type of functional organization is that if you're a project manager, you need to report under any manager. So you don't have power to make decisions. So sometimes this type of organizations are called centralized. The project managers, which is you and me, we don't have authority. We don't have almost zero. Little authority and little autonomy. So you cannot make decisions about the budget. You need to ask your manager, hey, Mr. Manager, can I do this? Can I do that? Because you have no power at all. That is a worst case scenario, project management. You need to report to a functional manager. So under finance, for example. The title of that they normally give the project managers, it's expediter, coordinator. So you see, you are not a project manager because manager is on another level. So why is this important? Because sometimes you need to implement the project on time, on quality, and on budget, even though you are under a functional organization. So that's why you need leadership skills. And that was the conclusion of the previous class, that we need to be leaders, not only managers, but also leaders. Sometimes you have just a part-time role. You don't have any staff to work with you, not at all. You're just you and you. So functional managers manages the project budget. So what is that, Lucia? This is the organization, functional organization, which is the number one. Number two, this is another number two. The second one type of organization is a matrix organization. And this type of organization, if you can see here the chart, it's like a medium size, medium level of authority. So, okay, we have production manager, we have finance manager, we have marketing manager, we have research and development manager, but also we have projects like horizontal, cross-functional project managers here. But the title, it's manager. So this is better, much better than functional. So in this type of organization, on matrix organization, we have medium amount of authority. Management of a part-time project team, so you can have a cross-functional team working with you. Sometimes part-time roles as a project manager. You see, the title is project manager, not expediter or coordinator. So it's another level. It's better. May have part-time staff. So maybe you can 2 or 3 people working under your responsibility. And you can share budget management with the functional manager. So you have power to make decisions and also to allocate money. So that is matrix. However, the number 3 is the best. I'm going to put it the best here and also happy face. Why? Because this type of project, and George and Miss Julie, let me know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in filmmaker industry, and Miss Steiner also, you have all the power to do whatever you want with your team. You have budget, you have authority, you have the power. Is that all right? Miss Julie,
I
Miss
mean, I think it's more of like the matrix because you do have like stakeholders that can have like a predetermined budget that's out of your hands. But for some people, it depends how you do it in the craft. It can have more of a free flowing, projectized organization.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix. You can definitely find,
Mhm.
what do you call it, matrix, and then I feel like you can absolutely, there are absolutely projects that are projectized organizations
Mhm.
as well.
Projectize is this one, next one,
Yeah.
which is you have your own budget, your own team, you have your own transportation, you have your own decisions. So you have the power, the authority to do whatever you want as a project manager. It's the name of that type of organization is projectized. So sometimes you have this type of benefits, Miss Julie, sometimes in filmmaking.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
So it's a hybrid. All right. So in this type of projectized organization, you have 100% autonomy. You have your budget, you have your team, you can make decisions, you have your transportation, you have your own money, you do whatever you want. So also called projectized organization, you have complete power, you have high level of autonomy, you work full time on the project, and you have your team, and also you have 100% authority to manage your money, your budget. So this is another example. Here's the director. This is project number 1, project number 2, project number 3. So I put this happy face because for the exam, you need to understand the difference between functional, matrix, and projectized. All right, I think we are ready now to do something. We're going to, let me just stop sharing. I want you to take 10 minutes break and also 5 minutes in the private room so you can coordinate the homework, the assignment, which is after the break. We will be introducing integration management. So let me just jump into this homework, the homework that I gave you last week, previous class, I'm sorry. So let me jump into the homework. So now we're going to take a break. Okay, Miss Larissa, let me know if you can see the integration management, getting ready for the next class, teach with me. Can you
Yes, I
see
can
it?
see it.
All right. So now we are going to take 10 minutes break and 5 minutes. Just I'm going to create a breakout room. So team number 1, let me just make sure you can have your private space right now. I'm going to create the spaces, breakout rooms. I'm going to create 3. I know, Miss Larissa, you don't have, maybe you don't need to, okay, it's optional. You can do it by yourself, but you don't need it, I think. Let me assign the project, the team number 1 will be just Miss Larissa. I think you don't need to, you can do it if you want to. Team number 2 is going to be just Miss Pamela, and also Miss Julie. Team number 3 will be Mr. George, Miss Claudia. I don't see Miss Tina. Miss Tina, are you here?
She's sharing a screen with Jules.
Yes, I'm here,
Um,
but I have my laptop too
I
to join.
want you to log in into the class if you can do that into Zoom.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. And I'm going to wait until you log in. Let me check. Give me 1 second. Relax. We have time because after the break, we're going to introduce integration management. All right, so let me wait for Miss Tina. Yes, I can see you. Thank you very much. Let me create the rooms, breakout rooms. So let's say what is the purpose of this breakout room is that just making an agreement of the team. Okay, who's going to present the homework? That's it. That's 2 minutes. So team number one is going to be only Miss Larissa, team number two, Julie and Miss Pamela. Team number three is going to be also Miss Tina, Mr. George, and Miss Club. All right. Now you are going to receive like a notification from Zoom. It's up to you if you want to click on that and you will be out. So any question before we go to the break, because we're going to take two things. Icebreaker, breakout 5 minutes and normal break 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes. So let me know if you have any question before the break. Anyone? Miss Larissa, any question? Oh, you already left.
I think, yeah, everyone just
Okay,
went into the groups.
Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, you can go to your rooms. ¿Qué
I
pasó?
have a question. Are we taking the break first or are we talking first?
That is up to you guys. Lo que ustedes
Oh,
quieran.
okay. I see. We're taking the next 15 minutes to do that.
Yes, you have 15 minutes to make a decision. If you want to just drink water, drink coffee, whatever, and speak each other.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
How do I go back to?
I was trying to send you one more time. Let me check. I don't know. Let me check broadcast. Let me just. Okay, I'm going to. Miss Larissa, Miss Pamela. No, Pamela. Okay, I'm going to close. Okay, I'm going to close our rooms to recreate the rooms one more time. I'm sorry. You're coming back to the main room. Okay, now wait until you receive the notification one more time from Zoom. So the Zoom is going to reset now. Coming back to the main room right now. So I'm waiting for Mr. George. Automatically. And after that, I'm going to recreate the rooms one more time. In 20 seconds. Okay, you're here, you're back. Okay, that was my on purpose. So let me just recreate the room. So as soon as if you have any question, do the question, make the question before you leave. So I'm going to recreate. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Any question? I'm going to click on boom. I'm going to send you. So any question? Any question?
So we go on our break and then we meet with our team and then we come back at 8:10.
Yes, I'm going to give you 15 minutes in all. And I'm
Okay.
going to control the time. So don't worry, you will be here automatically. So I'm going to just click on Zoom capability and you will be back. So 15 minutes. Any question before the break? Anyone? Is everything clear? Team number two, you know what to do for the homework? Team number two, Miss Julie, Miss Pamela?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, wow. I want you to to go to the virtual classroom. Okay, let me give you the link. Give me 1 second. You see, it's that very important that you have the link. And I send you the, can I minimize? Okay. Okay, let me just copy and paste the link. Okay, you're supposed to have the Google Classroom open during the class because we're going to interact several times with this content. So let me open the classroom and I'm going to give you the link. Code. Copy class invite link. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste the link into Zoom chat. So I'm going to provide the link to Miss Julie and Miss Pamela. Chat, let me know. Paste. Okay, that is the Google Classroom. You need to go to the Google Classroom. Let me share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen one more time. So Miss Julie and Miss Pam, let me know when you can see this type of classroom.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you're going to click on classwork and scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and click on PM Book Guide. That is the Bible. That is my book that I provided for the class. So you click on that PM Book Guide. Let me know when you see PM Book Guide. And it's a PDF, it's a PDF document. And it's going to ask you for a password. So I'm going to put the password into the chat right now. This is the password. Shagil 0505, but the C it's lowercase. So let me know when you open the PM book, which is the Bible. That's Miss Julie and Miss Pamela.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, okay. So now that is your book. That is the class book. You are going to use, that is the Bible. So if you go to the, let me just stop sharing. Let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Stop sharing. I'm going to give you the presentation framework. Here, I'm going to share my screen one more time. And I'm going to explain the homework. So every single week, you're going to have this type of exercise in teams. So this is the homework. You're going to read 2 pages, 1 page. So team number 1 is going to read page 69 to 70. That is team number 1, which is Miss Larissa and Miss Lisette. Team number 2, which is Miss Julie and Miss Pamela, you are going to read Develop Project Charter, page 75. Also, you are going to use the artificial intelligence assistant. So team number 1 is going to use ChatGPT. Team number 2 is going to use Copilot, which is Miss Julie and Miss Pamela. So doing what? Researching the same terminology so we can have different perspectives and point of view. That is just to accelerate the knowledge and just to learn more. So you're going to use the standard prompt. What is a prompt? It's the instruction to ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini. So I'm going to copy and paste to the chat, the Zoom chat, the prompt that you're going to copy and paste. Wow, too many things, I know. And also I'm going to give you the link of the Copilot. So let me give you the link that you are going to use to log in into Copilot. This is the link. The free version of Copilot. That is another information that I'm going to share with you. Paste. Okay, now you have the Bible. You have the page number that you need to read. And when you come back from the break, you are going just to share the information, the definition of that terminology. Is that clear, team number 2?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let me now, I'm going to give you 15 minutes. It's 8028. I'm going to give you 15 minutes. So I'll see you at 8:17. All right, I'll be here. If you have any question, just come back to the main room. I see you in 15 minutes. Now you can log in into your rooms. Need to know. Okay, we are officially recording the class. Let me know, any volunteer, if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. Anyone?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So let's do this. Project integration management. What does Atlas say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the most beautiful topic of the class because it's the only one that is just for us, for you and me, the project managers, because it's going to like consolidate all the different components and subsidiary plans and baselines from the start to the end. For example, if you are from marketing, you need to know only the marketing part of the project. If you're coming from legal, you are going to manage only the procurement management and also maybe some of the purchasing, whatever. But if you are the project manager, you are going to know everything. You will see, you will have like a comprehensive view, holistic view of the project. So that's why integration management, it's only for project managers. That it's a tricky part for the exam. Okay, so the first page that I share with you every single time, it's the course structure, which is I'm being transparent. Just to let you know that I changed the color of this box because it's done. So this is complete. Introduction, day number 1. Now we are going to cover the content of the day number 2, which is project integration management. So be ready because the next week we'll be talking about the scope and schedule. So 2 topics, 1 and 2. Today just 1. Okay, just to let you know that. So at the end of this module, I want you to pay attention, relax, and enjoy this trip because you will see a lot of definitions and a lot of tools, techniques, and different opinions and ideas. So I want you to pay attention so you can stop me at any time or ask me questions and just type something in the chat, any comments. So at the end of this module, we will be able to mention the 7 processes of integration. So we have 7 processes in integration management. We're going to understand what is a project charter, which is a key document, and what is a project management plan. The good news about this document is at the end of the class, you will be creating your own project plan and you will be presenting your own idea. So we're going to apply project management as part of the class. So in this 6 weeks coming up, you are going to incrementally, you will be creating the components of your project. And today I'm going to share with you an example. So keep that in mind. Number 3, at the end of this module, we will be talking about key concepts when we are integrating the project. So every single terminology, remember that will be based on the PMBOK guide. What is that, Lisa? This is the Bible that I gave you. It's in the Google Classroom. So what is the PMBOK? It's the Project Management Body of Knowledge. This is the PMI standard. I'm going to start asking team number 1, any volunteer, I think Miss Larissa, if you can just provide an overview about the integration processes. So you have 5 minutes. You can just provide a summary. You can read your notes. So go ahead, Miss Larissa.
Okay, so project integration management is basically the glue that holds a project together. If we look at the different parts of a project, so the scope, the schedule, the cost, risk, and resources has different different puzzle parts. project integration management is basically the big picture management. The purpose of project integration management is to unify and coordinate everything. So allocating resources wisely, balancing competing demands, evaluating alternatives, tailoring processes to fit the project, and managing dependencies across all the knowledge areas. There are 7 official processes to know. First, you develop the charter to authorize the project. Second, you develop the project management plan, which is the master plan. Then you direct and manage the project work. Fourth, you manage project knowledge, so the team benefits from lesson learned. Fifth, you monitor and control the work to track progress. Then you perform integrated change control, which means you evaluate and approve or reject change or requests. And 7th, final process is you close the project or phase, which finalizes everything and hands it over.
Absolutely, Miss Larissa. Let me ask you, did you check something in ChatGPT or you think it's the same idea in ChatGPT?
I did. I did a mix of what ChatGPT explained to me and what I read in the PIM book.
Oh, it's already included in your explanation, right, Miss Larissa?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I want reaction from the rest of the team. This is the way that I teach. Here, it's a fresh environment, supporting and collaborating. So I need applause and put anything in the chat. It could be a thumbs up. It could be an applause. It could be a happy face. So, but I need to see the actions because it's not only me here in this class. Thank you so much, Miss Pamela. Congratulations, team number 1. Thank you so much, Miss Claudia. So I'll do the same when you are presenting. So please, you better do it right now. Miss Julie, I don't see Miss Julie, Miss Pamela. Yes, I saw you. I said, Miss Tina, thank you so much. I'm just kidding. Mr. George, any reaction? You can put it in.
How do you do reactions?
Oh, anyone can help.
Oh, I got it.
Like react with effects like this.
I did it.
Oh, you did it, Mr. George. I can see your face, like smiling face. Yes. I think you can use you can do it in the chat and also in the I think it's reaction icon. I don't have your screen because I have the host features and functionalities. It's a little bit different. But did you find it, George, Mr. George?
Yes.
Okay, I can see it. All right. Thank you so much, team number 1. I'm going to continue. Integration management, I'm going to provide an overview. I know Miss Larissa did a great job explaining the definition of integration management, but just in case if you are taking notes, you can just screenshot this page and take a picture. But integration management, it's about including the processes and activities needed to identify, define, combine, unify. So she said it's a glue. I think that was a perfect word that she uses. I love it. It's a glue. It's like putting all the pieces together in one place. So it's about combining, unify, coordinate the processes and also the activities that are important or relevant to complete the project. That it's integration. So in order you can successfully manage the expectations of your customers, right? Which are the stakeholders, and also you will be able to meet the requirements of your stakeholders. So having said that, integration is about just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. That's it. That is the best definition. So having said that, remember that I told you, like in the first section of the class today, that in project management, we have 2 types of project. We have traditional, predictive, and adaptive agile. If you can see here, every single topic, please pay attention. You are going to see this portion constantly on every single knowledge area. We're going to include 10 knowledge areas during the 8 classes here, the 8 sessions. So this knowledge area, it's integration. Next week, we'll be talking about cost, time, and scope, knowledge areas. So having said that, I want you to expect on each one of the chapters and each one of the knowledge areas, this type of information, talking about agility. So when you're talking about integration in agile and adaptive environments, these are 3 characteristics that you need to keep in mind. Please pay attention. This is very important because it's part of each one of the knowledge areas. Number 1, the team members define or make a decision how plans should integrate. So the control of the integration management is delegated to the team. So in this type of philosophy and agility, please pay attention. In agility, in agile environment, we don't have here in the top a manager. That is not the way in agility. This is traditional, manager in the top. And here the team members. Team member, no. This is traditional. In agility, this is the way that you will see the structure. This is agility. This is the team. Please pay attention. You will see the difference in human resource management. This is the Scrum Master, which is the facilitator. This is the development team, the product owner. So every single team member in agility, they have the same level of authority, but it's absolutely different. That's why I love agility, because every single team member, it's accountable for the good, the bad, and the uglies. There's no managers. Everybody, we have the same level of authority to make decisions. So the team members make decisions. Number 2, the project manager built a collaborative decision-making environment. So Lisa, you told me that we don't have managers. Yes, but this is just the idea. In this case, in agility, the name of project manager, the role, it's Scrum Master. For now, leave it like that. The project manager, what this person is doing is just creating a collaborative decision-making environment. Number 3, the team members in agility, they know everything, a little bit of everything. So at any time, if they have a bottleneck and they have a lot of work pending, a lot of work in progress, they can help each other, like collaboration 100%. So as you can see here, this is very different to traditional project management. So 3 things to keep in mind when you are talking about agility and integration management. So the team members, they have the same level of authority to make decisions. So I love this, because everybody, it's here to help. Let me continue. Just let me know if you have any questions. Put it in the chat, because I'm going to continue to have a couple of pending things to explain right now. So let me move to the second, so the team number 2. Let me just ask if we have any volunteer to team number 2. It could be Miss Pamela or Miss Julie. Do you have any comment about develop project charter?
Yes. So development project charter, it's the official step in launching a project. It's where we brainstorm, where we do the meetings, the focus groups, and Jules just shared a file in the meeting that you guys can also take a look meanwhile.
Kind of has some tables that kind of breaks down what the charter is and what it has. It's kind of like the blueprint, like a zoomed out view of everything that entails the project. Pam, you want to add anything?
Sure. So it empowers the project manager to use organizational resources, establish a shared understanding of the project's purpose and scope. So what I like about this, it's like, look at it as a birth certificate. It makes the project real, and it gives, credibility to it, instead of how you said the opposite of it would be a waterfall. But this keeps us grounded and helps everyone understand what the project is about. Keeps the project focused and right to the goal. Formally authorizes the project's existence, gives it a picture to what it's going to be created for, and also room for edits if it's needed. But it keeps you grounded, and it's the official step. So that's what it seems to be, a development project charter.
Some of the
Absolutely.
ingredients,
Mhm.
sorry.
Go ahead, Miss Julie.
So before putting a charter together, there are some things that you would need. Basically a business case, which just justifies why the project exists. Agreements, contracts, obviously for everyone that's involved. Deciding the environmental factors, templates, and then also some of the methods used to create the charter, consulting people who may be helpful with the project, brainstorming, interviews, let's see what else, collaborating with stakeholders, and the results, basically the official document that kicks it off, like a blueprint or like a handbook, kind of giving everyone the breakdown of everything, all the details.
Yes, absolutely. So the project charter to me is like the document that is going to announce. It's like an announcement, and it's providing the high level information. So I want you to congratulate the team number 2. You did a great job because you research beyond the PM book. I think you found something in Copilot also, right, Miss Pamela and Miss Julie?
Yes.
So applause, happy faces, party icons, whatever you, yes, heart. Thank you so much. I need to see Mr. George, Miss Larissa, Miss Taina celebrating the team number 2 effort, and good job. All right. So if we want to pass the exam, in the exam, there's a couple of tricky parts that you need to know. So when you see something in yellow like this one, this one could be a tricky part of the question for the exam. So Miss Larissa, is there any question in the chat? Let me check. No, developer chat, you put a PDF format there. Okay. So if you are going to forget everything about the project charter, never forget that it's the official document that authorizes the project manager to use the organizational resources. So it's like an announcement. Officially, we are approving Ms. Lisette to use the budget that we have in the company. We are authorizing Ms. Claudia to start and create a cross-functional team. So now you have the authority. This is officially started. That is the purpose of a project charter. And you said, Ms. Julie said that it's like a blueprint. Yes, because the project charter has a lot of components or information, high-level information explaining the overall scope of the project. So having said that, for the exam, this is the definition. Number 1, authorizes the project manager to use the resources. Number 2, provides a high-level explanation of the objectives. That is Ms. Julie explaining beautifully. She said it's a blueprint. Absolutely, yes. Number 3, another tricky part for the exam. It's signed by a senior management. What is that, Lisa? This is the executive team, the CEOs of the company, the director, the vice presidents. This is a high-level authorization. And last but not least, is developed during the concept phase, which is at the beginning of the project. So 4 things to not to memorize, but to understand for the exam. You don't need to memorize anything in this class. So this is a tricky part for the exam. So if you are going to forget everything also about the project charter, please keep in mind that the project charter has a lot of things inside, like the purpose of the project, the objectives, the high-level requirements, the overall project risks. You see, these are the keywords: high level, overall, the milestone schedule, but summary level. The pre-approved financial resources, this is money. But you see, pre-approved, everything is high level and like preliminary information. So another other components that we have inside of the project charter is the list of stakeholders, the approval requirements, the exit criteria, the assigned project manager, the name of the sponsor, and that's it. So question for you guys. Question that I'm going to ask myself. Let's say, do I need to memorize each one of those components for the exam? The answer is no. Why? Because before the exam, you are going to take like 50 practice exams. So in the learning process, you will know exactly what to put in the exam. So you don't need to memorize anything, not in my class. Because I'm going to give you a strategy to pass the exam, which is not memorizing definitions and terminologies. I want you to put a happy face because that is a good news. You don't need to, oh my gosh, I need to, no. It's just relax, and I know that you're going to pass the exam if you take the strategy that I'm going to recommend. Is that good news? Anyone say yes? Thank you. Say something. Put something in the chat. Happy face. This yay! You don't need to memorize. I love this. You will see at the end of the class, oh my gosh, I passed the exam and I didn't. So you will see how cool. All right, let me continue. Okay, I want you to take the time, read this question, and put it in the chat, A or B. At the same time, I'm going to give you this link so you can keep this link for your records, because this is a practice exam, like 7 questions that I put here. So let me just take the time. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to copy and paste this link so you can have this link on your records. This one. So let me copy and paste. So Miss Larissa, let me know if you can open the link, because that link is going to be like it's a very helpful to study for the exams. So you can use as a resource.
I can open the link.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, now you can keep that link on your records. Also, I'm keeping these links into the classroom just in case you don't have a place where to saving this type of information. All right, so the answer is, Miss Larissa, how many A's do we have? How many B's? Miss Larissa, help me.
It appears that everyone answered A.
How many feedback we have? 1, 2?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
Oh, 5. Okay, I think we are 6. I need one more. Who's missing? Me. I don't see it.
6.
Yes. Okay, all right. Okie dokie. I love the feedback. Remember that this is just to provide a couple of questions, and it's not only reading, but also practicing. So the project charter is signed by the senior management. The answer is true. Yes, absolutely. All right. So let me check and have another break. 9. Let me continue. Okay. Next question. Another quiz. Take your time. It's in the same link. Wow, you're doing good job. Remember that everything that I show you as part of the components, it's high level. Yes, Miss Pamela. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. George. Yeah, that's okay. No problem. That's perfectly fine. Remember, this is not a test. It's just to get familiar with the terminologies, the names, and definitions. So I'm not expecting you to do it right from the first on your first try. Exactly, no perfection. Thank you, Miss Julie. That's the word. I'm not looking at perfection at all. It's just collaborating, participating, and be here. Just be with me. All right. Thank you. We are ready to continue. All right, so the answer is, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Larissa, how many A's do we have in the chat? Miss Larissa, you're my TA?
Yes. 1, 2, 3,
3,
6.
6. Perfect. Thank you.
How many answers or how many A's?
I think how many responses we have, like responses in all.
Okay, everyone answered.
Okay. Yes, that's it's the feedback. So I don't need the good responses. It's just if someone is missing, that's perfectly fine. So keep that into consideration that a project charter, everything is high level. When you see something like this, like it's a document, like a official document, no, it's not. It's high level risk, no risk registered. So this is confusing. That's perfectly fine. So I'm not expecting perfection. All right, let me continue. All right, let me continue. I think the team number 3. Team number 3, team number 3. Are you guys ready? Team number
Yes. Team 3.
Okay.
Team 3. Okay. So, the develop project management plan. So, my team, we use Gemini, which is a Google-based AI assistant. And yeah, to develop project management plan means creating the master document that explains how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled by pulling together all subsidiary plans, the scope, the schedule, the cost, the risk, into one integrated plan. It's like building the game plan. So you have like the vision statement in the charter, and then this is kind of like filling out a couple of other things. So an example of what it's like is it's like a game plan before a sports season. The coach, which is the project manager, gathers input from assistants, the team leads, like the assistant coaches. They review plays from the lessons learned that Larissa mentioned and creates a strategy that guides every game. For example, launching a company website would require a plan that integrates timelines, budgets, quality checks, and risk strategies into one cohesive roadmap. Yeah, so a couple more details. Yeah, to develop the project management plan and how it's executed, you need a baseline, and that is necessary to define at least the project references for scope, time, and cost, those things that I mentioned before. The project plan defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled and closed. But once it's baselined, it can only be changed through the perform integrated change control, which by the way, I had to research a little more.
That's perfectly fine. You did a great job. Congratulations, team number 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George, because remember that some of like 100% of the time, nobody's including those details of baseline, the subsidiary plans, the explanation. So you're covering everything, the things that I have right now coming up in my slide. So thank you so much. Okay, I want reactions for the team number 3. Congratulations. Thank you, Miss Larissa, Miss Pamela, Miss Julie, Miss Claudia, Miss Tina, team number 3. All right. So Mr. George, thank you so much for the beautiful explanation. And you cover, I think, everything that I have here in my notes. So just to provide a summary of this definition, the project management plan, look at me, pay attention, listen to this, is not one document. It's a consolidation of multiple elements, of multiple plans. So it's a key integrative document, as you explained right now. So let me just make sure, yes, the reactions make me smile. Yes, me too. Yes, you did a great job, Mr. George. So it's a key integrative document, number one, is developed by the team. So it's not developed by the manager, it's a teamwork. And number three, I think this is one of the most important characteristic of a project management plan, is that you need to use this plan to guide the execution and be able to control the performance. So you will see how. So having said that, in order for us to consolidate the master project plan, you need to create the subsidiary plans. So this is very important because you cannot finish the project management plan until you create the scope management plan, the time management plan, the cost management. You see, it's a progressive elaboration. One more time. So I'm not expecting, nobody's expecting that you can create the master project plan immediately. This is a process. So you need to know, first of all, the project charter, which is the blueprint, as Miss Julie Beautiful said before. And also you need the output from these subsidiary plans. Those are the scope, time, cost, quality, resources, stakeholders, communications, risk, and procurements. Those are the 10 knowledge areas that we're going to cover during the class. So today we are doing integration. The next week we'll be talking about the scope and time. Next class will be cost and quality. So what is the good news? That we will be able to understand each one of those subsidiary plans coming up. If I want to summarize what is the project management plan, it's not only this list of elements, it's also, and this is very important because Mr. George covered this very, I would say, beautifully. You said that we need to create the 3 baselines. And I told you yesterday, meaning the previous class, and today, that in project management, we have a triangle. You remember the triangle? The iron triangle. And another name, it's the golden triangle. So what is that? The 3 baselines. So in project management, you have plans. Those are plans. But these 3 are the approved version of 3 plans, which is a scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. Okay. I want to relax. I need to relax because this is so awesome, because in project management, you need to understand that you cannot change a baseline unless you submit a change request. And Mr. George covered that part. So remember that I told you that traditional projects, they manage the changes carefully. So in order for you to change a baseline, you need to submit a change request. However, in agility, it's not like that. In agility, changes are welcome. So keep that in mind. I don't want to confuse you because this is all about traditional right now. So the change request is going to be approved or rejected. Who is responsible to approve or reject the changes? The change control board. Please, I don't want you to write it down, not now, because we have time to explain this concept later coming up. So for now, I want you to keep in mind that the project management plan, it's a list of subsidiary plans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and plus the 3 baselines. So the 3 baselines are going to be used to measure the progress and the performance of the execution of the project. So that's why you cannot change the 3 baselines until you submit a change request. All right. Miss Larissa, do you think that my conversation is okay, or you think that I'm doing too fast, too slow? Can I continue?
No, I think the pace is fine. We do have a question in the chat.
Okay. Okay, Miss Pamela or Miss Julie? The change control.
Miss Pamela.
Miss Pamela. Okay, the change control board of the senior. Okay, I love the question. I love questions. And Miss Julie, changes control board approved or yes. Yeah. Okay. So when you see the CCB, the change control board, it could be a committee. It could be one person. It could be a team. It could be the executive team. So this type of details you need to specify based on your decision. So it could be, yes, it could be senior management. So the answer is it could be, but not necessary to be the senior manager. Is that clear, Miss Pamela? Did I answer your question, Miss Pamela?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And Miss Julie, change control board approved? Yes, Miss Julie, that's correct. The change control board is the entity responsible to process, responsible to create the process. So you will see coming up because we have that type of process coming up as part of integration. Okay, so far I'm going to continue. Let me just continue. And I'm going to mention the components of the project management plan. Remember that we are not explaining this one today because we have a specific PowerPoint session and a specific date to explain one by one. So we have the scope management plan, the requirements management plan, the schedule management plan, the cost management plan, the quality management plan, the resource management plan. I'm not going to get into details. Communications management plan, risk management plan, procurement, stakeholder, and also the baselines here. Baselines. 1, baseline scope. 2, schedule baseline. And 3, cost baseline. Question for you guys. What is the difference between a subsidiary plan and the baseline? Anyone? Who remember what I told you before? What is the difference between a normal plan, yeah, whatever, and a baseline? What is the difference? Is that the baseline is the approved version, the final version of the plan, and you need to use that to measure the performance and the execution. You cannot change a baseline until you submit a change request. So keep that in mind, those type of information. Let me see if you have anything in the chat. All right, let me continue. At night, we have another break in 6 minutes. Miss Larissa, any question, any comment?
No, nothing at this time.
Okay. So let me continue. All right. This is tricky because I didn't explain that you are not supposed to send the project management plan to everybody, to all the stakeholders. So I'm not expecting you to respond this question, but I'm going to explain that. Because if you are including procurement, finance, scope, schedule, calendars, maybe the marketing team, they don't need that. So you cannot send and distribute the project management plan to all project stakeholders. So this is a tricky question for the exam. So the answer is false, because you should distribute the project management plan as defined in the communications plan. So you can skip this question because I didn't include that in the explanation. So my bad. This is a trick for the exam. Also, that is part of the practice exam. Let me see if we have another. Okay, that one. Okay, that one you can do. You can do that. After this one, we're going to take the break number 2. 10 minutes. Remember that if you see the word plan, it's probably part of there's one that is not. So you need to eliminate one. Elimination technique here. One of this. There's one that is not a plan. Yep. Thank you. Miss Larissa, let me know when you see the responses. When we finish, we're ready to take the break? Yes.
We have other responses.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to give you 10 minutes. So it's 8:57. That will be 9:03. 3 plus 7. It's at 9:07. I'm going to give you the 10 minutes break. Any question, Miss Larissa, before the break? Are we ready to take the break? Okay, I want you
What
to
was the
yes. Any?
answer to 4?
What was that, Miss Julie? Oh, the answer was
The
I'm sorry, I didn't present the answer. Was the interpretive environmental.
no, it's okay.
Any question, Miss Julie? Any comments?
No.
No? Okay. I want you to feed me back, not only Miss Larissa, but all of you guys put number 2, like number 2 in the chat. So we are ready for the break. Number 2, because I need to know if you're here with me. Thank you, Miss Claudia, Miss Larissa, Mr. George, Miss Taina. Yes, we are here. Okay, I see you at 9:08. 10 minutes. Okay, I want to know if you can see my screen, Miss Larissa. Can you see my screen? Anyone? Anyone? Any volunteer? Let me know if you can see my screen, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hey, Mr. George, is entertaining this class?
I think so. I was just telling the professor that I got this PlayStation, and I was telling her that this class is more entertaining than the video game.
Wow, oh my goodness, that is a big statement, Mr. George.
And I
Wow.
bet it costs more than the class.
Thank you, George. Oh my God, that is incredible. Wow. That is incredible. Okay, we are recording. Remember that before the break, we're talking about a couple of quizzes and questions that you can use to practice yourself before the final exam. So that's why I'm providing the link in the bottom. If you can see this link, it's the same link for the rest of the integration. So you will have a link for integration, another link for scope, another one on each one of the knowledge areas. You will have this link to practice with the same questions that we are using during the class. All right. So let me continue. I put the things on the top of the, let me just delete, no, this is too much, it's too big. It's because starting right now, we have just 30 more minutes until we finish. I'm going to ask in this order, Miss Larissa, then Miss Lisa is not here, Miss Pamela, Miss Julie, just help me reading. So I'm going to start asking Miss Larissa. Miss Larissa, can you help me reading this content that you see on the screen? Process number 3.
Yes. Process number 3, direct and manage project work is the process of leading and performing the work defined in the project management plan and implementing the approved changes to achieve the project objective.
Thank you very much. So Miss Larissa, she's explaining now the process number 3. Please pay attention because the process number 1 was create the project charter. And the process number 2 was creating the project management plan. So the process number 3, now that I have the project management plan, now I'm going to proceed with the next step, which is execute the work. You see, the work. Implementation right here. So it's the process of doing the work. That's it. The work has been defined in this document, which is the project management plan. Boom. And of course, you will see a lot of people asking for changes. Hello, Ms. Listed. I know that you are the project manager of this application and this software. I need to know if you can add this additional table. I need to create this report. So constantly, we will be receiving a lot of change requests. That is normal. So executing the work, which is direct and manage the work, is also about implementing changes. To do what? To achieve the objective of the project. Let me continue. Now, in order for me to direct and manage the work, I need to know that at the end of the process, those are the outputs. This is the result. At the end of that process, we have number 1 and number 2, very important outputs. So I'm going to ask Miss Pamela if you can read, just read the content that you see on the screen. Starting here.
Deliverables, unique and veritable product, result, or capability. Work performance data, raw observations identified during activities being performed. The lowest level of detail from which the information is derived. Examples, start and finish dates, actual costs, story points, completed.
Thank you very much. So as part of this process, at the end of directing and executing the work, you are going to create this type of results. Number 1, the deliverables, which is the product that you are creating. So deliverable is an output of this process, deliverables. And also you are going to track the performance data or performance data. Both are okay pronunciations. Data or data is the same. So when you see work performance data is the information, is the data that you need to create and analyze the data and create information. And also at the end of the day, you need to create reports. So you cannot create the project management reports until you track the progress, the observations identified during the execution of the project. Some of the example of data itself, for example, start date, finish dates, the cost, how many points we have completed. So what is that? Let's say this is the first dimension of the work performance. You need to track numbers and data or data. Excel sheet, just creating the source of information that you're going to use to create the final reports. So let me continue because the output is the deliverables and data or data. And also another type of output of the process number 3, and I'm going to read it by myself, and then Miss Julie is going to read next page, is a change request. Remember that we are working, executing, implementing, just moving forward, working. And that is normal. It's absolutely normal that you need to manage change requests. So change request, it's inevitable. That's the word that I was looking for. You cannot avoid the changes. I'm sorry. Regardless if you're working in traditional or agility, change requests are constantly performed in project management. So change request is used to modify the scope, the cost, the schedule, and may be used to take corrections or preventive actions. So changes are very important if you want to keep the project on quality. Some changes are mandatory per legal, the government, so maybe sometimes it's not your option. Those are mandatory from the government. So maybe the changes may be originated internally or externally. So inside of the organization or from outside organizations. So for the exam, every single time that you see something in yellow, this is because this terminology, it's very important for the exam. So keep that in mind. So for the exam, the first thing that you need to do when you receive a change request, remember, it's not, okay, I'm going to have a meeting with my stakeholders. I'm going to call my friends. No. The step number 1 that you need to do when you receive a change request, it's analyze the impact. In terms of what? In terms of time, budget, and scope. So this is very tricky for the exam. Okay, listen. So for the exam, I know that I'm not supposed to have a meeting with my team just to analyze the change. No. Before that meeting, you need to analyze the impact. So when you have the meeting with your stakeholders, you know the answer. They're going to ask you, hey, let's say, okay, you want to approve this change? Okay, what is the impact? How much money do we need to perform that change? So that it's, you need to keep that in mind. So for the exam, I want you to think about this question, and I'm going to give you time so you can select A, B, C, or D. So put in the chat, A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D. Yes. Thank you. We have. Let me know, Miss Larissa, when we achieve the full
We
participation.
have all the answers.
2, 3, 4. I don't see, Mr. Chish. Okay. We done, right, Miss Larissa? Done?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So you know the answer. It's absolutely C, is determine the impact to the project. What we're supposed to do first? Analyze the impact. All right. We can continue now. Remember that we have a couple of more minutes until we finish the class. Let me just make sure we have on time. It's 9:17. Okay. All right. So the process number 5, I'm going to ask Miss Julie.
Hello.
Oh, can you help me reading?
Yes. So, number 5, monitor and control project work. Inputs, project management plan, any component. Number 2, work performance information, which is performance data analyzed in context, and information that provides sound foundation for project decisions. Examples would be status of deliverables or forecasted estimated to complete.
Thank you. Thank you. So remember that I told you on the previous process, we were generating data or data. Remember that word, work performance data. Now we need the work performance information, which is the data analyzed. Now we can create the report. So when you create the report at the end of the process, the executive team, they can make decisions based on that type of report. So everything is a process, data, information, and then report. So what is that, Lisa? This is the process number 5, monitoring and controlling the project. Remember, when you see monitoring and controlling on every single knowledge area, is the same concept. You need 2 things. You need to compare the plan versus the result in order to identify any gaps, discrepancies, or deviations. As soon as you identify something is not according to the plan, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I need to do something. I need to fix the problem, or I need to implement corrective actions for the next phase, for the next process. So this is the idea. We need to monitor, watch, make observations, inspections. That is monitoring. This is watching, monitor. It's monitoring. It's visiting the places, checking out the results, exploring the execution. So monitoring, and then you need to control. So when you are controlling, you're executing corrective actions, corrective or preventive actions. So that is the same concept all over all knowledge areas coming up. Some of the examples of a work performance information, it could be the status of deliverables, the forecast, estimated to complete. And also something for the exam, it's that the work performance information provides sound foundation for project decisions. And I told you that you cannot make decisions until you see the results analyzed in context. So that is absolutely clear. So now that I have the information, I have the data, the information, now I can create the report. This is a process of creating the final report. So now, as you can see here, this is the third dimension of the work performance. Now we're creating the output number 3, which is work performance reports. What is that? A beautiful report like this that now every single person can understand and make the interpretation and make decisions based on what? Based on those beautiful charts. This is the report. It's a physical or electronic representation of work performance information. Generate decisions or awareness. That is the benefits of creating a report. Some of the examples, it could be in a status report, recommendations, and updates. And one more time, what happened when you see something in yellow in my class? What happened with this? Anyone? You remember what is that in yellow?
Exam.
Yes, thank you, Miss Pamela. That will be part of the exam. So the purpose of the work performance report is to generate decisions of awareness. So that is the final concept. This is the message that you cannot make decisions in project management until you gather information, collect information, monitor the actions, and create reports. Because nobody else will understand the performance until you deliver something physical that someone else can read, understand, and make decisions. Is that clear? I want you to put number 5, like number 5 in the chat, if that is the concept in general, it's clear that you need to observe, monitor, control, create numbers, tracking, then reports, then you help the team to make decisions. Is that clear, the idea, just the general idea? Yes, thank you, Miss Claudia. Thank you, Miss Pamela. Thank you, Miss Tina. Thank you, Miss Julie, Miss Claudia, Miss Le. I don't see Mr. George. They say, who? It's 5. Okay, makes sense. Sometimes I say, this is too much. This is too much. But please help me out. If you don't understand something, it's because I know I'm talking too much. There's no way to explain the class if I'm not reading and explaining. So that it's the problem this class, too much information. All right. We're almost done for today's night 23. We have an example right now. And also we have the homework coming up in 5 minutes. All right. Miss Julie, you presented this. Let me just move. Okay. Question here for you guys. Take a break and take the time. It's A or B. Yes, we're almost done. Miss Larissa, let me know. Okay. Miss Larissa, just let me know if we complete the one.
Yes, we all give an answer.
Thank you. Remember, I'm not expecting perfection. And I love that, Julie. I'm going to take that statement from you. I'm not expecting perfection, just collaboration. Thank you. So the answer is yes. Remember that I'm talking about decision, how to generate decisions. How can you ask the executive manager, the top level executive in the team, in the organization, if you're not providing reports? That's why they need reports. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let me continue. Almost done for today. All right, I think 5 more minutes. All right. So I'm going to ask Miss. Let me check who's missing. Miss Claudia, can you help me reading the process number 6?
Yes. So 6, perform integrate change control. Happens throughout the project, happen after a baseline established, examines the effect of change on the entire project. Verbal changes happen but should be documented. Change request. Enter into a change management system or configuration management system. Feature and functions. Approve. I don't know how you say the word deferred.
Approved, está bien, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Deferred, rejected,
Reject.
and change approval level defined in project plan.
Thank you. You did perfect reading. I love it. Okay. So remember that we are progressing from process number 1, number 2, number 3. Now, process number 6 is the perform integrated change control. And I think we have a lot of background and context about changes. So we are very good understanding this page. So changes happens throughout the project, happens after the baseline established. Remember the baseline, anyone in this class, you know what is the baseline? Anyone, you say something, whatever you want to say, no perfection, whatever. What is the baseline? What is the difference between a subsidiary plan and a baseline? Anyone?
The baseline is the golden triangle.
Is the approved version of the plan. Yes, which is a part of the triangle. Yes, the triangle. Yes. And let me ask you guys, can I change a baseline? Anyone? Can I change it?
No.
Unless you do what?
Submit a request.
Yes?
Submit a request?
Yes, unless you submit a change request. So the answer is yes. We can change a baseline, but we need to submit a change request to be approved or rejected. So the answer is yes for the exam. But you need to follow a process, change control. You need to follow the integrated change control process. I want you to keep that in mind. Yes, you can change it, but you need to go through the process, formal process. So you can have verbal changes. Like, for example, I want you to add this additional report in this application. Okay, I received the phone call, but I'm going to put that into my register, change request register, so I can document the change. Just to keep that in mind, needs to be, write it down. Change request can be approved, deferred, rejected. Change approval level defined in project plan. Yes, so the change control board is defined as part of the project plan definition and documentation. So it's time for me to jump into, let me check the next page, and that's, two things before we finish. I want you to write it down, these two terminologies. Scope creep and gold plating. Oh, let's say too many things. Yes, I know. I promise this is the last page that I'm going to present. Next page is an example and we finish. So in project management, there are two things, dos pecados. How you say that? Sin, George, in English?
Yes, cardinal sins.
This is bad. This is a no in project management. The number one, it's scope creep, and the number two is gold plating. So what is the scope creep? Please pay attention because this is part of the exam. The scope creep, it's when the scope of a product is changed. However, the budget and the schedule remain unchanged. So in this triangle, I'm just changing the scope, but I'm not updating the time. I'm not updating the budget. This is es un pecado. This is very bad. This is negative. You cannot change something if you are not able to update the two other sides of the triangle, the golden or iron triangle. So this is a no in project management. What is a scope creep? It's when someone changes something without updating the rest of the triangle. Yes, Miss Julie.
I was going to say, I kind of understand why the symbol is a triangle. Obviously, if one side is longer, then it's not a triangle anymore. So the reference of the triangle is actually really helpful because you can't forget that if you change one side, you have to change the other two.
Absolutely. I love that comment. Thank you for that. So the triangle, it's a really good representation of the three baselines. Absolutely. Okay. Anyone else? Any Miss Larissa, any additional comment, question? Don't be a creep. I love that. Miss Pamela. Yes, I do. Miss Pamela. Yes, unless it's submitted. Yes, 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 yes. Wow, I love it because you're here with me. One more minute. So, gold plating, that is something happened to me. But don't say anything because this is my secret. No, 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 I'm just kidding. I remember when I was teaching for the first time in the International Business Master's degree for FIU, international in another country. That was the first time that I was teaching. I was so happy. And I remember that I had this, I was excited, I was so happy. 65 participants, huge room. It was like an amphitheater. How do you say that in English, Jorge? Amphitheater. It was like a
Amphitheater.
yes, like this in levels. Huge university. I was teaching at UNIBE, Universidad Iberoamericana. I remember that. And I was so excited that I got this idea. I traveled 3 days in advance and we created like binders, like physical educational material. And I remember that was not part of the agreement with UNIBE. So that was a gold plating. What is a gold plating? It's when you add extra features that were not part of the original scope. Normally the gold plating, it's originated by the manager, internally by us. Originated by the manager. And a scope creep, it's originated by the customer. So keep that in mind for the exam. So scope creep is when you change something, you're not updating the travel. And gold plating is, oh, I have a lot of money here in my budget, and I think I can surprise my stakeholders. Let me do this. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. That is not. It's not a good practice in project management. You're not supposed to add something that is not part of the plan. So gold plating is bad. So two terminologies, scope creep and gold plating, very similar. And the exam tip for the exam is know these two concepts for the exam. Let me see. This is the last page for today. Let me check the.
Can you give an example of scope creep?
Yes. Miss Pamela, yes, I'm going to give you example. This what we have.
Miss Tina.
That was Miss Tina asking for an example.
Yes.
Okay, let me give you the example. Let me read the message that I see from Miss Pamela. This is why we have the development project charter, first official step. Oh, you're relating the charter and the plan. I don't get it, Miss Pamela. How you relate the project charter with this?
Tina.
No, that was Miss Pamela.
Oh, never mind. I'm the one that's confused. Excuse me.
Oh,
I guess I'm relating it because it's all filled into a circle, right? So isn't it how it starts with a development project charter? That's when you have the meetings and you brainstorm and then you stick to that and stick to it. So then along the way you make edits, but you can't really do anything until you submit it into the changing the board.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree with you, Miss Pamela. Now the question that we received from Miss Tina, it's give me an example of the scope creep. Okay, this is something that, for example, if you are managing a project of an event, a wedding event, but you have a specific catering food menu, and you have a specific and very straightforward budget. You have this menu and this is the cost. So if someone is asking you, okay, could you add a couple of, I will say, ice cream as part of the dessert, but that is not, it was not part of the original menu. And you, as a project manager, say, okay, let me just get a couple of additional ice creams for just because we are friends. That's not a problem. If you do the addition of the ice cream as part of the menu, but you are not updating the budget, that is an scope creep, because you're supposed to update the budget and put, okay, we need
Oh, I understand.
$20 more in addition. Is that clear? Like,
Yes.
Miss Pamela is putting something. Imagine they have a budget for tuna. Yes, or thick steak. Yes. How do you explain that without dating? Exactly. You're supposed to ask for more money. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna, oh my gosh, we're over budget. Why? Because you're putting a couple of ice creams that was not part of the original menu. Is that clear? Of the travel? Yes. Okay, I want you to put number 4 in the chat. Number 4, that is clear. That is clearly said. You can just continue. Number 4, thank you. Yep. Thank you, Miss Larissa. Thank you, Mr. George. Miss Pamela, Miss Tina, Miss Claudia, number 4. Okay, let's say you can continue. You can finish. Thank you, Miss Claudia. Yes, Miss Julie, Mr. George, Miss Larissa. All right, okay. So having said that, I'm going to stop sharing right now, and I'm going to share with you, number 1, this example, because I want you to be ready for the week number, the last session, session number 8, and you need to present something similar. So I'm going to share with you, this was a real project that we presented in the government in the Dominican Republic for the agriculture development. You will see. Let me just share with you screen. And I have a good news for you guys is that this is just one example, but I have like 10 examples that you can see posted on Google Classroom. Not today, but it's going to be part of the Google Classroom coming up. Okay, Miss Larissa, can you see the project plan example here? Project plan example, anyone?
Yes.
Thank you. I promise that after this example, we're done for today. And just the only thing that I need to present is the homework, and that's it. All right, so project plan example. The project plan that you are going to create, remember that I'll be here helping you. We will be using ChatGPT, Copilot, Gamma, Flick, a lot of tools, cool things. And I know you're gonna create beautiful plans. So think about something that you want to implement in real life. Something that you just thinking about that. All of a sudden, I have something in my mind. I need to do this. I have this vision. Oh, I would like to do this and this and this. This is the best opportunity that you have to create your real plan. Remember that you will present one plan per team. So for example, team number 3, Mr. George, Miss Claudia, and Miss Tina, maybe you have 3 projects, each one project for George, another one for Claudia, another one for Miss Tina, but you need to select just one to be presented the final session, the session number 8. All right. So those are the components. We are going to create the project description. Then we're going to create the WBS. What does that say? Is this the part of the scope baseline? Coming up soon. The WBS or the backlog. This is 2 very technical terminologies I'm going to explain. Coming up, this is part of the scope management. The 5W plus 1H is what, why, when, how. But it's another type of page or template that I'm going to explain. Component number 3. This is the component number 4, the team organizational chart. The stakeholders list, the timeline, which is the calendar, and of course, the budget. This is the component number 7. So we need to create, those are the subsidiary plans just for the exercise. Save the dates. I want you to take a picture of this page because the day number 1, we did the team's formation. Day number 4, which is next week, I'll be providing a lot of examples, more examples, and a lot of like guidance and explanations and Q&As. So I'll be here working with you and working for you. Day number five, we need to create or deliver or present here during the class. What is the project that you are going to present? The project name and high-level description. And the final presentation will be on the session number 8. This is not day, this is sessions. Okay, that is a timeline that we need to follow for the last class, the last deliverable. Some of the things that I'm going to evaluate is the content, the organization, the presentation, and the delivery. So I'm going to have like a tracking record here in front of me. While you're presenting the project, I will be, this is something that you can improve. This is something that it's perfect. So I'm going to keep that into consideration. This is the evaluation criteria, and this is the explanation. The information is specific. The information is realistic. The ideas are organized in a logical manner. The presentation, the graphics and photos are good. It's representing the reality. Okay, the delivery, you are presenting from 15 to 20 pages, no more than 20, no less than 15. So a couple of performance indicators that I'm going to evaluate. Remember that today is just an overview. I'm going to spend time explaining in detail one by one. So you don't need to, like, don't worry. I'll be explaining this evaluation criteria coming up, much better coming up. We have a couple of minutes, and this is the example. I want you to pay attention because this is a humble, very simple example that I'm going to share with you. First of all, the name of the project, the Limbert Project for National Agricultural Development. It was presented by me, this is me, and 2 other guys, 2 experts in agriculture. This is the problem. What is the problem, let's say, that you're trying to resolve? Is the limitations that we have in my country, limited agriculture development, So I'm not going to explain this idea because it's very technical. It's just so you can see the idea. Problem statement. Statement is the number 1 paragraph here. We have this problem. We have low quality food due to high chemical contamination, blah, 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 affecting the human health, and limitations in the business, international exports, and because we don't have money, bankrupt due to lack of affordable technology. So this is a very sad situation. That is real. Sad situation in my country in terms of agriculture. This is the WBS, which is the proposal how to resolve the problem. We're going to propose created innovation and agility office, execute trainings, add technologies for cultivation, create a marketing plan, and those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solutions, proposed solutions. This is the WBS. Remember that I'm going to explain each one of those components coming up. Each week, we will be explaining one component in detail. This is just an overview. Let me continue. A couple of pictures of the technology that we are proposing, tunnel type. Those are greenhouses, mesh houses, thermal blanket, chapel type. What is that? More information. Very technical. I'm going to continue. You don't need to get into details. This is the organizational chart that I'm proposing. This is a Scrum team, which is an agile hybrid team. This is a traditional organizational chart. This is more details in terms of the team and Office of Innovation and Agility, blah, blah, blah. This is the executive person here. This is the list of stakeholders, medio ambiente, economy, education. This is in Spanish, Ministerio de Obras Públicas, banks, Banco Agrícola, a couple of banks here. So what is that? Those are the stakeholders. Continue. This is the timeline. This is the calendar or the roadmap. Those are the deliverables. Month number 1, month number 2, month number 3. You see in Spanish, we can put sprint number 1, sprint number 2, sprint number 3. Milestones. This is the list of milestones, and this is the duration, and the start date and end date. So you can have you can be creative. Remember that we will be using artificial intelligence, so you will have a lot of resources. So you can do whatever you want. You will see how cool you can make your own projects. And this is the cost. So just numbers, details, and unit cost, dimensions, and total cost. So that is the example. And with that, I'm not expecting you understand every single information in that template, but this is just to provide the first example. Now I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to jump into the homework. And with that, we finish the beautiful class today. Almost done. Miss Larissa, any question, any comment in the chat? Are we ready to finish the class today?
We're ready. Nothing.
Okay, okie dokie. Almost done. Let me just close this presentation and go back to the homework, which is part of the integration management. So I'm going to share with you the homework. And remember that if you see the Google Classroom, you will see every single assignment. So let me share one more time my screen. And with that, we finish the class. So let me, Miss Larissa, can you see the homework for the team assignment week number 3? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, this homework is going to be very nice because you will be able to read this book, which is part of the PMBOK guide. So if you open the PMBOK, which is the Bible, the PMBOK guide, at the end of the scroll down, you will see this section with Agile Practice Guide. It's included into the Bible. So let me know if you don't see it because I can help you. Also, you can use this link to research these 3 questions. So the team number 1 is going to explain what is Agile and what is the Agile Manifesto. The team number 2 is responsible to read, present, research the 4 values of Agile. Maybe you can select your favorite value. This will be optional. Team number 3 will be responsible to present what are the 12 principles of Agile. Good news. And I copy and pasted the pages here. So if you see, this is the standard prompt that you can use. Here's the pages and the Agile guide. This is the page number 1 that you can use from the PMBOK. This is the other page. The Agile Manifesto is there. This is the principles of Agile. And that's it. Any question? Because if you don't have any additional question, let me tell you, thank you so much for your time. You can have a nice weekend. I see you Monday at 7 o'clock en el mismo canal y a la misma hora, on the same channel at the same time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.
Bye. Love you.
Love you
Love
guys.
you guys.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.